welcome to the Connections section at Fifth House Divination, a daily space dedicated to receiving messages from Tarot about relationships that are facing a block to their development. With the help of some astrology dice and an oracle deck, the Tarot will talk to us about the cause of the block and offer us some ideas about the action we can take to resolve the issue and get the connection back on track. The messages are situation specific, so you may find your message in a past or future post. Just trust that if a message finds you and it resonates with you, then it's your message at that time. If you think that this message may be for someone that you know, please share it with them and help it find the person that it's trying to reach. If you're looking for general life and love readings, please click on the link above. That will take you to my YouTube channel. Okay guys, so let's pull a major. See what's trying to come in. See what stage of development the connection is at. Let's pull that one. Oh, hello. Okay. So you've got card number 13. This is the Death card. And Death talks about transformation of a very significant nature. This is the sort of transformation that that goes from, you know, it's like a kind of a caterpillar to a moth type of transformation. Is actually the card that comes in. It's the energy that comes in after this Hanged Man that we've got here. So at the moment, the connection is in this Hanged Man energy, while you guys are getting some kind of perspective, changing perspective on the connection. So that's where you are, and what's trying to come in is this transformation. So when you're sort of done with this Hanged Man energy, when you come out and you lift this block, whatever the block's going to be, to this Death card, you'll have gained the perspective that you need, and then you'll go into this sort of really good kind of transformation energy. I mean, a lot of people aren't keen on change or transformation, but you know, it needs to kind of change. Situations have to change to keep them healthy and let the air get at them. Okay, so we've got Pluto, who is the planet of transformation, and we've got Leo, and this is the second house. So the second house talks about earned income. It talks about our values. And Leo is the sign related with the Sun. It talks about ego. And then Pluto talks about deep transformation, and it relates to this card through the Scorpio signs. Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio, and the Death card is also linked to that Scorpionic energy, because it's a complete kind of decomposition and rebuilding of something. So right, okay, that sounds a little bit scary, but it's not, honestly guys, embrace it. Right, okay, so what's stopping this transformation? From coming in. So there's some sort of Pluto, Scorpio, so what's trying to come in is the Death card, and what's stopping it is Pluto. So Scorpio, or that sort of Scorpionic energy in the second house is the link. Okay. And so here the block is Saturn in Gemini, third house concentration. So this talks about sort of providing form and structure to your thoughts, controlling your thoughts, or restriction of some sort of energy, sort of logical energy, mental energy. So that's what's blocking this one coming in. Okay, so then we'll need to get We'll get a couple of court cards to show who's involved, and then we'll get the message from Tarot. Tarot will tell us why they want to talk about this connection, what it is that they want to say. Okay, so involved in the situation is Knight of Swords type energy. So Swords is again is the mental, it's the mind energy. The Knights are fast moving. And the other energy, the person in the equation, is the King of Wands. He came out yesterday, so King of Wands is having a busy week this week. So this is someone who's sort of fiery, dynamic, intuitive, could be a fire sign, so Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. And then over here on the other side we've got air signs, so it could be Aqua, Gemini, Libra. But what this essentially means is that, you know, these people are coming at this situation from two different ways. One is very, very logical, is led by his mind, by his thoughts. And then we've got the King of Wands over here, who is much more intuitive, much more dynamic. So he'll be led by, you know, what he's inspired to do. He's the master at sort of chasing down what he wants and directing his energy where he wants it to go. The Knight of Swords can be, while he's kind of directed by his mind, he could possibly be a little bit more reckless. He may put logic above emotion. Okay, so, and then last but not least is, let's see what Tarot wants to tell us about this. So there's some kind of transformation that wants to come in. A connection, I think it's possibly a financial connection of some description. Second house rules money, or it's earned income, it's our values. Okay, so what we can influence is the Ace of Cups. Okay, so this talks about being emotionally, this card for me always makes me think of being emotionally transparent, because you can see right through the cup. But it also talks about what resonates with us, you know, what we respond to emotionally, what we enjoy, what we can't influence. Is a Strength card. That's a major arcana, so I'll get a clarifier for that. The Strength card talks about operating from your higher self, using sort of compassion and wisdom to control your more kind of feisty, baser instincts. You know, so this lady, she's not controlling through fear or through punishment or through torture. She's controlling this giant, beautiful beast through compassion and kindness. What will help lift this block is the Seven of Wands. It talks about defending your priorities, picking your priorities, picking where you want to put your energy, you know, what you want to fight off, pick your battles. So that would be helpful. And then ultimately what is needed to lift this block is the King of Swords. Okay. So we've got the Knight here. So this could be kind of some kind of upgrade for this person, somehow to sort of upgrade himself so he's an equal with this king. Or it's some kind of clarity and just kind of cutting out the BS basically. Okay, so we'll get a clarifier for this Strength card. Oops. And it's all gone horribly wrong as usual. And so we've got the Five of Swords. Honestly, I don't think I've done a reading yet where something hasn't fallen over, or my cat's come in, or I've knocked the camera, or there's something. Oh my word. Right, okay. Right. So, That was the Four of Swords, was the clarifier for the strength. Oh no, sorry, it's the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords talks about victory at a cost. It talks about winning, but you know, the battles that you have to face and the people that you have to defeat to get there. So this is victory at a cost. Okay. So we've got transformation that's trying to come in, possibly in some kind of financial or material connection. So this is someone that we're connected to materially, but this is our own resources. This is resources that we've earned, or this is our own values. What's stopping this transformation from coming in is some kind of structure in the mental plane. It's some kind of energy sharing or restriction of energy sharing. It's a lack of clarity, I think, or too much focus in a particular place. Okay, so let's have a look. Okay, guys. So what's coming through here is actually really quite interesting. It's actually talking about. Excuse me, I'm starting to lose my voice. I'm getting cold. It's talking about an extreme transformation. So we've got the Death card here. We've got Pluto. They're fundamentally the same energy. And it's occurring in the second house, which is the house of resources. This is earned income. You know, this is the resources that we make for ourselves. And how this is really interesting, because how this is coming through is it's coming through as extreme wealth. So there's, but I think what the transformation is obviously somebody out there. Some of you guys, there's a kind of a partnership here. I think this is some kind of business partnership. That's, you know, you guys are on the verge of doing great things. And I think where the disparities coming in between you is about how public you want to be with the information, because this is Leo. And Leo is very, you know, kind of proud, out there, showy. Look at me, he's very gregarious. He's a lovely warm fire sign. You know, they're bold. They are very much, you know, the sort of, it's the sign of Leo is the sign of the performer and the artist, and so there's something here about, I think this dynamic is talking about, there is some, you guys have done something, you've really been really successful, and now you're going into a phase where the sort of the level of your success, the level of your resources, the true kind of astonishing amount of it, because look, Pluto to do with reason, when Pluto is associated with resources, that's extreme wealth. I mean, we're talking like mega, you know, billionaires, and so it's not just, you know, sort of a 100 quid win on the horses. It's this is an extreme transformation, and this transformation is trying to bring in a lot of wealth, but in a very kind of showy, it's in a very showy way, or this could be some kind of gambling, or it's something that's, I don't know why I'm picking up a Jupiter vibe off of that. So this is showy, extreme wealth in a nutshell, is what I'm picking up off of these dice. Showy, extreme wealth. And so this is what's trying to come in. And what's stopping it is Saturn in Gemini in the third. So I don't think it's the wealth as such that's coming in. It's the showiness. I think it's the showiness and how much you want to publicly acknowledge it, or this could be taking a company onto the stock exchange, or you know, it's about, I think it's about going public. So the Saturn in Gemini talks about putting a restriction on that, you know, and they've got, you know, Saturn in Gemini is the devil on the lips. And I think how this is tying in is basically, I think there is some reservation about how, because this Knight of Swords can be quite reckless. So I think the block at the moment is the anxiety or the nervousness about this reckless air energy, so reckless communication, wanting to be very careful about what you tell people, you know, how you present what's happened. It's sort of talking about controlling your own PR. So this is sort of how you sort of show your achievements, what's happened, this extreme transformation of fortune, how you present that to the world. And you know, and it's this Saturn in Gemini energy that's kind of blocking this from being presented, because there is an anxiety about how the information, I think quite possibly this air sign, the person sort of depicted here, I think there's a concern by this person here that the other person in this connection, from a communication perspective, could be a little bit reckless, or maybe not think, you know, it's a bit of a kind of a foot in mouth type energy. I do it all the time. So it's saying what is needed is the King of Swords in this situation, to lift this block, to get this lifted, this almost like sort of ban on communication, this devil on the lips, you know, this fear of things being put out wrong. What's needed is the King of Swords. The King of Swords talks about clarity. It talks about discernment, and I think, so if this isn't an additional person, a separate person that's needed to assist with this communication, so maybe a PR professional or an executive or something, if this isn't talking about that, then what it's talking about is this Knight of Swords developing and becoming more discerning. We need more discernment from this person about what they say, how they act, how they communicate, and what they talk about. I mean, if you look, that was quite vicious. He's lost his head. I'm kind of seeing it as, you know, this guy's head here. So there's a level of maturity in the communication that's needed. And once we have that level of maturity, that discernment, that clarity about what we want to say and how we want to say it and how we want to present ourselves, then it's going to lift this block, this restriction on communication and on, you know, sort of advertising how fantastic you guys have done. And, you know, kind of showing the world really all your new flashy bling. I'm making light of it, but seriously, this kind of change, guys, is you've been working really hard and you've done really well. And why wouldn't you want to, you know, shout from the rooftops about it? You should be proud of what you've done. Like I say, the only thing, the concern here that's stopping that is just how this information is going to be presented out in the world. For some reason there needs to be a sort of a caution and a concern about how that's done. Okay, so we're needing the King of Swords, we're needing clarity, and to help this clarity come in, we're talking about the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands talks about, so the Wands is the energetic, the action suit. So this is talking about, picking your priorities, picking what you're focusing on. With regards to a business, I guess this would be sort of picking your selling point, picking what you're really good at, picking your victories, deciding which of your victories to showcase as the kind of the story leading up to this profound transformation, this profound success that you guys have got. If we can decide which victory, which story, which energetic path we want to showcase or highlight or follow, that will give us the clarity that we need and the ability to slice out what we don't need and go forward with just and present what we do want to present. Okay, so what we can control in this situation is the Ace of Cups. It's a beautiful energy. The Ace of Cups talks about a new opportunity to emotionally connect with something. It's something that fulfills you emotionally. So it's a new beginning, it's a new opportunity, it's a new connection. And I love this particular Ace of Cups because you can actually see through it. Well, it's not, but it always looks like a transparent cup to me. And that the items here on the side, it always looks to me like they're actually inside the cup. So this particular Ace of Cups in this deck, Ace of Cups in all the decks are all different, but this one always talks to me about emotional transparency. And being able to see. The Ace of Cups talks about offering people your cup, offering people, and saying, look, this is what I believe, this is what I think, this is what gets me going. And you have to kind of look in the top, but with this one, it's almost like you're sort of transparent. And I think that's it. With what it's saying here is that there are some things that you can offer. You have control over what you offer. You do have control over, sort of what people see. And I don't mean that in a deceptive or a sort of a devious way, but this Ace of Cups is you have something beautiful to offer and something beautiful to give, and you can control what and how much of that people do see. What you don't have any control over is the Strength card, and the Strength talks about working from your higher self, using care and compassion to control your ego. This is very much the ego card. And I guess if we've got Leo here, which is quite a sort of an ego sign, and it does relate to the Lion. So I think there has been in the past, there has been some kind of Five of Swords talks about, winning at a cost. In the traditional Rider-Waite, you see, the guy with all the swords and everyone else is sort of standing around wounded and beaten, and he's won all of the swords, but he's made enemies along the way to do so. So I think there's, in the past there has been some kind of wounding to the ego, or possibly you haven't, or there's been things done that, possibly you're not as proud of. But that's not something that you can, you can do anything about now. What you need to do now is focus on what you can offer, what you're about now, and where, what actions and what sort of services and things that you can offer, what you want to focus on, what you want to highlight, what you want to showcase. And by getting that clarity on action and, you know, kind of emotional resonance, you'll get this clarity that you need to come forward, lift this block to communication, and kind of show the world the great work that you guys have been doing. So anyway, I'm going to leave that there. If this is you, well done, guys. Seriously, this is massive. Congratulations and good luck in your venture. I'll be back again tomorrow with more messages. If you're looking for general love and zodiac, sort of general and love readings, pop over to YouTube, links above. I'll speak to you soon. Thank you. Bye.